So we open at Candy's housewarming, and Walter's on a date there, but it ain't with Kenya. Candy tells Kenya, you know he here. That's not cool. Well, you trying to force that marriage on him wasn't cool. Kenya calls him a stalker and storms out. Meanwhile, in a Sugarloaf model home rental, Nene and Greg have rekindled their romance. Just in time for a spinoff. Cynthia tries to talk some sense into Kenya, telling her, honey, you're being dramatic and unnecessary about a man you was never really with. But this is her plot line, so she's gonna milk it. She's gonna milk it. Oh goodness, we got Dr. Sherry and Porsha talking about being married to a sissy that don't want her to get pregnant. Well, no, he wanted her barefoot and pregnant. After that, Nene, her hairpiece, and Cynthia go out for some wine. Over with Candy and her toddler, they're planning on their wedding. They gotta talk about the prenup. Over with Kenya, she's getting ready to do her copycat workout video. Stallion booty. While Phaedra films her donkey booty. And we ended with Nene and Greg planning this wedding / spinoff, and that was the shit, so I'll see you soon for the reunion. A good season wind down episode. Next we gonna have Porsha and Cordelia in therapy. The real issue was his booty toot.
Let's take it back down, back down, back down memory lane. So we open at Candy's housewarming. Kenya's just arrived, and she, of course, is -1. So to busy Kenya from Walter and his cheap toupee that you can still see the balding in front. You shouldn't have light shine on your hair and your scalp is shining bright like a diamond. Well, with him, a zircon. A zircon. He can't even afford the A at the end of zirconia. It's just zircon. Because it's a dull shine. But they take Kenya on a tour of the downstairs before she starts twirling and mentioning her under 5 and waiting to exhale again. So Kenya ain't seen Walter yet, so Candy tell her, no, you know Walter's here with his wife. And Kenya wants to say, that's not cool, Candy. And Candy said, now hold up, I didn't invite him. Now maybe you didn't, but this is your problem, Candy. You allow everybody around you to stir the turd at your behest and on your behalf. Porsha said, oh yeah, you should bring Walter. You know Porsha was chilling at your house, picking at your puss. And she said, why don't y'all invite Walter to get under Kenya's skin and get a plot line going? And Candy said, oh, now do we have to do that? Let's not be messy. And then Ty said, yeah, why not? I mean, I'm cool with him. That's exactly what happened. It all went down as pillow talk in Big Mama's bed. I don't have my security with me, and it's not gonna happen like this. Kenya, you don't need security. Men walk away from you. You see Walter is here with a whole nother woman. So Donna Wana is walking Kenya out, and she's like, he's stalking me. Every time I go somewhere, he's there. And Donna said, okay, how long have y'all been together? Because you was never with this man in the first place. I live here, I know. So we find out Phaedra and Apollo knew he was coming and didn't tell nobody. Porsha knew too. They was all in the bed together. So Kenya storms off, and Cynthia's like, well, look, okay, Kenya, you done got butthurt by this man, but we all cool with Walter, so you gonna have to get over it. And Don Juan gotta get the valet guy so Kenya can have her dramatic drive-off exit. But the next morning, with Nene's disheveled head, she's talking about what happens if we get a season 2 of the new normal. Well, we'll never find out, because that doesn't happen. And girl, you see how bad Nene wanted that second season. Oh, Greg, you're gonna stay here with Brent, and I'm gonna live in LA. We can just live apart for a little while, it's all right. Couples do it all the time. Greg, meanwhile, looked molded. Nene had been ready to clock out of that marriage. He said, I need to be with you every day. No, you don't. No, you don't. She don't need to be with you every day. She can see you quarterly. Oh my goodness, Bar 1 is still open at this point. Oh, that's right, because Cynthia's still married to Penelope. So Cynthia, Kenya, and Miss Lawrence are there, and Cynthia feels bad that she got ambushed by Walter and his toupee at Candy's party. Cynthia said, Lawrence, you weren't at Candy's housewarming. He said I wasn't invited, so I didn't go. That's a good reason not to go. You know, I could see Donna Wana making sure your invitation got lost in the mail. Or was this after you had signed with Candy and then nothing came of it? Cynthia said, look, girl, Atlanta is small and there's always going to be somebody in the room that gets on your nerves. But you can't let them stop you from getting your shine. Cynthia has a point. Oh, and Cynthia said, now, Kenya, let's be real. How difficult is it to break up with somebody you was never with? Kenya said he run around talking about her. No, you're running around spreading gay rumors about him after you pretended to be in a relationship with him and browbeat him to propose to you on camera, and instead you got embarrassed. You're just upset because he embarrassed you in Angola. He ain't saying nothing. If you'd simply move on to another man and keep him out your mouth, maybe you wouldn't be so mad. So Kenya finally says, well, maybe me going into drama queen mode wasn't the best decision, and Cynthia said it was not. It was not. Cynthia, can you stop stabbing me? She ain't stabbing you. She's telling you the truth. You're overreacting. And it's gotten old. Like yourself. So Kenya's like, okay, Cynthia, I understand. You're just trying to give me some good advice and support. And Kenya says she's not going to let Walter ruffle her feathers anymore. That's right, girl. You may be a bird, but you ain't got to flap your wings for just anybody. Meanwhile, across town, Porsha goes to visit with Budgety Anla so that she can save her marriage to her sad sissy. I'm not gonna say the honeymoon is over, but like any couple, we're having our ups and downs. The down being he's not interested in your vagina. The up being he'll dress you up like a Barbie. But I don't know, I could tell he didn't love you because he let you walk around with eyeshadow looking like that. And if I love you, I will pull you into the bathroom, we will get some cold cream, and we will get your eyes together. Yes, we will. I mean, if you're going to be married to a sissy, at least get all the benefits from it. So Dr. Sherry tell her, honey, you ain't got to do all this by yourself. You have a husband. And she said, well, I don't want to put expectations on him. Then why did you marry him? If I marry your ass, I'm expecting a lot. I'm expecting waffles. I'm expecting a car for my birthday. Oh, yeah. Oh, you gonna pay a note. You gonna pay a note. I want a car every year, a new lease car. Because broke boys don't deserve no pussy. I know that's right. I mean, if you can't love me in a Lexus, is your love worth it? Oh, goodness. But now we've got a bedroom candy infomercial. Meanwhile, across town, Nene, let's see, the front of the head is together, but I ain't seen the back yet. But Nene and Cynthia are having a glass of wine. The back of her head is done today. I can't believe it. It's, you can tell she was in the car for a long time on that ride from Duluth because it's smashed in a bit, but it isn't giving welcome mat like it normally does, because normally it looks like you expect to see a bug kind of pop out of it. Like a potato bug. A potato bug. For a moment, I thought I should review the new normal, but if nobody watched it, y'all ain't gonna care about the review. But child, all they talk about is she or is she not gonna get married to Greg again? And child, the divorce was for a plot line and tax purposes. But back at Candy's, Heifer Joyce is rearing her ugly head. Candy's like, I need to spend some time with my mom because she was the one helping us house hunt. Yeah, but she wanted that second house. Oh, Heifer Joyce didn't even come to the housewarming, and she told Candy, my house is okay. I've been there for 37 years. What do you think about Heifer Joyce moving into the guest house? He's like, I love your mama, but we need our own space. Cleave and cling. Cleave and cling. Cleave from your family and cling to the spouse. He said we too fresh in the relationship for all that. And Todd, you're right. Now, you weren't right about letting Carlos King make sure that the insurance was paid, because we saw what happened with the light falling on Elise Neal's head. But this one, you were on picketing. But in the interest of changing the subject, Candy asked Todd, what did you think of that little Cracker Jack ring I sent you for $7,500? He said, oh, I saw it. But even I can do better than that. So she bring up the prenup, and he's like, I ain't got a problem with the prenup. I just need it to be fair. I'm helping you pay this mortgage over here. So that means I can't invest in me over there. That's true. Now that is true. I don't mind a prenup as long as it's fair. Like, don't be like, okay, I want to put you out with I want to take from you and leave you with nothing. Don't give me that tea. Meanwhile, across town, it's time to shoot the booty videos. I want to know why Phaedra and Apollo went to LA to shoot this video when they could have easily done it in Atlanta. You said you wanted people to enjoy the scenery. Honey, it's called a green screen. Y'all just wasting money, but then again, I'm sure that was another way for you to slip in some fraud. Tax fraud. Especially because you knew nobody wanted their ass to look like an ass, so you said, well, we're running it at a loss anyway. May as well be able to write off these travel expenses too. Now, Kenya, I'm gonna give you 2 points. When you look at me, you can tell I'm serious about my workouts. When you look at Phaedra, you can tell she's serious about her meals. It was the delivery for me, that intensity at the end. Okay, Kenya. It's a shame you couldn't deliver that kind of acting prowess, when you were actually acting. 10, 15 years ago. It's been so long, who can remember? Even Pepperidge Farm forgot. Phaedra, you look like a pudgy green bean in this outfit. But meanwhile, Kenya, from under your breast to the end of your ass, you look like a candidate for botched. We know you had that stomach scooped. However, Phaedra, you still can't do a workout video with cankles. The two are diametrically opposed, parallel, and will never intersect. I gotta say, watching these videos be shot, I'd rather do Kenya's. Oh, we gonna end it with Nene and Greg and this faux breakup makeup. So Nene tell Greg, yeah, I'd marry you again if you ask proper. He said, well, I'd get down on one knee, but who gonna help get me up? Child, Nene and that strong back. Well, that was the shot. So Kenya's planning her first gala, where Walter isn't invited. Kenya said this is her coming out party, not at damn near 50. You may as well keep it in at that point. Meanwhile, across town, Phaedra and Candy go to the gym. Oh, 'cause Phaedra gonna do a self-defense class and try to sell some stun guns. We gonna fast forward past the fraudulent. Oh, so Porsha done got Sissy Stewart to toot his booty on over to Dr. Sherry's. Honestly, this is when Cordell's butt was bigger than Porsha's. She wants to tell Cordelia that she doesn't just want a baby, she wants a career. Porsha says, Cordell, you won't let me have a nanny, so I can only have a career or a baby. You're not letting me have both.
Well, I rarely say no, but I've got to put my foot down and keep my marriage traditional because I'm a manly man.
Yes, Cordell, you are a manly man, and you don't really know how to express your emotions, except when he's trying to toot that ass up to get some dick in it. He knew how to express that emotion, didn't he? Now, Kenya, you actually should take this idea and run with it. Today is like your wedding day because you're never going to get a man. Half of you meant all the offense when you assigned Porsha the role as Halle Berry from Baps. Across town, Porsha and her glam squad are talking about Kenya shading her with this Baps character. Porsha may play dumb, but she ain't stupid. Oh my God. Carlton from Love is Blind is here. And guess what he is going to this party as? Ike Turner. Kenya, however, is getting her sissy ready for the party, and she's spraying his head with some white dye, and she says, is this what Walter used? It smells good, though. And Brandon gonna say, it's my natural musk. Don't nobody want to think about you and musk in the same sentence. That's why I like you on TV. I don't have to smell you. You smell like desperation and purse holding. So everybody's showing up to the party as their characters, and oh, Candy, for you to say you want to be Tina Turner, why did you put $5 into the outfit? Cynthia, I'm just surprised you were able to keep that hot-ass coat and hat on all night. But the makeup is flawless. Oh, Candy Burris. I know you did not just say, I hope Penelope's wearing a costume because that's not a real mink around your neck. One, you know a bath mat when you see one. And two, everything you wear looks like it should be a costume from Party City. People spend more on house shoes than you spend on reunion looks, so I'd shut that mouth if I were you. You of all people in this $4 wig want to talk about, I hope that's a costume. I hope that denim jacket is a costume, but I know it ain't. I hope that top is a costume, but I know it ain't. I hope that red clown lipstick is a costume, but I know it ain't. So Kenya makes her grand entrance as Pam Grier, but Pam Grier is sexy. Kenya's pretty, but I wouldn't call her sexy. Peter really think he doing something with this bath mat. He thinks he's giving us a GQ pose, but it's coming off Zoolander. But now Porsha and Cordelia show up, but Porsha isn't in proper costume. And so Kenya sees Porsha and says, this isn't Baps. So Kenya runs over to her event people. I I need you to cancel the BAPS portion of the program. You always overreact. I asked you to come as a specific character for a reason, and I think it's really disrespectful that you came as what you wanted to be, rather than what I assigned. Porsha said, well, you know, I saw you was trying to insult me, have me put a gold tooth up in my mouth. I'm classy and beautiful, except I will run down an alley and beat your butt. Well, you can be Dorothy Dandridge on the curb. Please escort her out. Security, security, security. Kenya just wanted any excuse to put her out. I'm surprised Booty Toot Stewart didn't say anything. Child, Cordelia a whole linebacker and he watching these two men rush Porsha out. He don't give a crap about her. Or any woman. So Cynthia, Penelope, and Candy say, well, we're going to leave in protest too. Everybody like, okay, look, she already here. Why she gotta go? That's not what the party's about. The party's about having fun, Kenya. Kenya don't know fun. Kenya don't want fun. Kenya wants everyone to be as miserable as she is. Kenya says she knew what she was trying to do. Trying to be elegant when she far from it. Oh, that's a good read. So, of course, Cynthia calls Nene to get her abreast of what's going on, and Nene said that's just mean and hateful. And Nene is mean and hateful, especially to Greg. So she should know. I have a whole program, and this was an extensive and olive branch. And now Cordelia pop up. Kenya, I say Kenya, how long have you been disrespectful, pard? You talking to her, you talking to me. Oh, Kenya said, oh, I'm already talking to one bitch, now I'm talking to two. Another 2 points for Kenya. Because I understand the men, if they don't say anything, you know they're going to catch hell on that ride home. You couldn't back me up a little bit, but then it's also you got to stay out of women's business, so there's really no winning. Porsha said, I shouldn't be entertaining coming back in your event. And Portia's right. I don't know why you standing out there, but I guess you want the camera time. I would have took my sissy and gone home. All right, well, I'll apologize for making everyone feel uncomfortable. That's half-ass. Well, look at her. She has half of a human ass and half silicone. So why are you surprised it's half-ass? It's going to be lumpy and bumpy, too. So Porsha says, look, when you was apologizing to Phaedra, you went on and addressed it to her rather than giving this blanket shit. And so Kenya says, all right, well, everybody, I apologize, and please come back inside. Porsha still wants a direct apology to her, but why? I'm sorry, you should have known you were going to get put out. And also, you put Kenya out of your event first. So you should have known it was coming. You should have known, oh, okay. If I have to dress like this, it's clearly a stipulation. I wouldn't have shown up at her shit because I'm like, nah, you like to put people out too much. I had to put you out for acting a fool. I'm sure she has some really embarrassing scenes comparing Porsha to Baps. Kenya was gonna pull a stunt. So Kenya go back inside and watches the little program. Meanwhile, Cordelia, who had none of the smoke for security who was escorting your wife out, now has all the smoke for Sissy Brandon. He gives you smoke and energy, doesn't he? Get your booty to tootin'. He gonna say, go get Kenya and get it done. So Brandon finally go inside as Nene pulls up. And she's giving us an expensive Strong J instead of a cheap Tina Turner. Phaedra comes as Catwoman. I didn't even remember she was here. So everybody just standing around outside in their costumes because Porsha got kicked out. So Nene rallies the troops and says, okay, well, we all gonna go back in. I'ma talk some sense into Ms. Moore. We are all supposed to be one. I am sick of hearing about your bad behavior. If you gonna kick Porsha out, I'm going too. Well, it just infuriated me that she had the audacity to come as anything than what I told her to. What is the harm in you coming as Halle Berry from Baps? Because you were going to embarrass her. You were going to pull a mean girl stunt. You were going to pull a Carrie. They're all going to laugh at you. Nene was telling her don't burn bridges, and I think she meant don't be difficult with production or you will not be asked back. So Kenya's like, all right, I'm going to go with the flow for Nene and to keep the peace. I'm going to let her stay. And she actually apologizes to Porsha. If you weren't going to pick on her for the next decade, it might be sincere, but we know it's not. It is funny to hear Nene talking about playing the game honest and not burning bridges, and then she did the same thing 8 years later. So this is the end of the scene, and we're getting our last moments. Cordelia filed for divorce without telling Porsha. Phaedra's expecting baby number 2, and a pregnancy workout video is in the works, with no competition from Kenya expected. Candy and Todd got officially engaged, and Heifer Joyce is not moving in. With Cynthia, the Miss Renaissance pageant 2013 is already accepting applications. Is that when they accused her of taking the money and then not doing anything? I think it is. Child, Nene really came in here on a chariot. Nene continues to live bi-coastally, waiting for her next big role, which never comes. And Greg gave Nene a 15-carat engagement ring. I don't buy it. 15 carats of zirconia, of crystal. You know what? It could be a 15-carat Australian crystal. $200. Well, that was the season. I can't wait to get to the reunion. Oh, y'all really gonna say Kenya was dating an international business tycoon? Tycoon? A lie, don't care who tell it. But she says her DVD outsold Phaedra's, and that I believe.